Good morning. There. And that's on. Hi, everybody. Shift my mic over a little bit. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Hello, everybody. Bienvenue. Good to have everybody here. It's Monday morning over in Australia. We've got clouds in the sky today. It's not very warm. It's a bit chilly. Nothing like my poor family, my parents and everything are over in Chicago in the United States, and it's like -20 or something Celsius over there. It's disgusting. It's probably like, I don't know, it's a very chilly 70 Fahrenheit over here. But a bit of a rainy day. Today. Thanks for joining. Hope everybody's doing well. Oh, it's Super Bowl Sunday. Oh man, am I going up against the Super Bowl right now? Worst time to stream ever. Holy cow. It's funny, when you don't live in the media blitz that is America, you lose track of everything. I even forgot it was Thanksgiving last year when it was Thanksgiving. Things just go by. You don't even think about it. Well, if you've got the Super Bowl on, happy Super Bowl Sunday. I used to enjoy that back when I lived in the US of A. I got tired of freedom though, so I decided to get out. How is everyone today? It's good to see you, 4K. Oh, in about 3 hours. Okay, cool. We got time. This is the warm-up. This is your warm-up to the Super Bowl. See how everybody's doing. I'll just scroll back through chat. Welcome, Steven. Good to have you. Nick the Coder. I'll get to your question about audio. Lionel, welcome. Bonjour. Ça va? Ça va bien? Good to have you. Thanks for coming. Bienvenue. Who else is here? John. Hi. Welcome, John. We've got one person over on Twitch. Glad to have you. Thanks for being here. Dee Dee says glad to be here over on YouTube. Thanks, Dee Dee. It's good to have you here too. Hi, Random Rotation. I like your name. That's a cool name. Excellent, Lionel. Doing well. Good. Moi aussi. Hi, John. So today, we're getting back into epic space battles, aka making a sci-fi movie in Blender. So, I don't know. We've had a lot of new people join the channel since we started this series. This is it's actually been a while. We haven't touched it this year yet. We haven't gotten back into this series yet this year. But for those of you who are familiar with it, we're going to be continuing. If you're not familiar with it, it's a very long-running series, and the big picture of it is I've given a bunch of tutorials on how to make everything in this whole scene that we're gonna be looking at today. Talking about just everything from how to make the ships, how to rig stuff, how to do the asteroids, how to do the dynamics, how to think about story. I mean, we've done a lot with this. It's been a really fun one. And I finished all the lessons. So I taught all the concepts, finished it all up. And then we kind of entered this second phase where it was me just animating the scenes and putting the shots together and just finishing up this short film and talking about it as I do it, talking about my process, what I'm thinking about, what I'm going through. And, there's lots of incidental tutorial stuff that pops up along the way. So teaching as we go. So it's kind of a fun format. It's a bit more casual than the edited tutorials that I usually put out. But anyways, I sat down over the weekend, had a big think, and this is really important to me. I really want to be making more short films. I really want to do more narrative content. I would like to start talking about storytelling more on the channel and screenwriting specifically. It's one of my big passions. Filmmaking in general is something that I just really love, and it's something I've always done, and I'd love to start sharing more of that with everyone. And I see Epic Space Battles as a chance to do that. So it's a chance to kind of be working on a short film and talking about those ideas. It gives me an excuse to talk about story and how that stuff fits together. So we're kind of coming up on the big 10,000 subs. So on YouTube, we've almost hit 10,000. We're about 1,000 away. We hit 9,000 over the weekend. So it's really growing fast now. We're averaging about 12, at the moment, we're about 1,000 new subscribers every 28 days is where we're sitting at. So it's just growing really fast right now. And one of my big goals has been to hit that 10K point. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but the the thing that it's going to allow me to do is begin to be a bit more focused on these kind of short film things. So I hope that, I want to continue to grow the channel this way, and I hope people get really excited about this because I just love the long format tutorial. I really love the idea of taking you through a project, and I just think it's just a lot of fun for me, and I think it's great value for everybody, and there's a lot to learn. Anyways, I hope you think the same and are excited about that. Let me know in chat if you're pumped about that idea. I'll still keep doing the short tutorials. But anyways, what I was saying is I sat down over the weekend, thought about this, realized this was really important to me, and then I wasn't doing anything with it because I've been chasing the YouTube analytics. I've just been focusing on whatever it is that gives me the most views on YouTube. And I don't want to get that way. I don't do YouTube to be the best. I don't do YouTube to be the top, viewed, subscribed Blender YouTuber out there. I'd love that. It'd be great, but it's not my goal. I want to make sure I don't chase the analytics, and I continue to focus on what gets me excited and what makes me passionate about doing this channel, because I want to stay fresh with it. I want to stay really invigorated and excited about it. And I know that, if I'm excited and passionate, everyone's going to come along for the ride. So at least I hope so. Anyway, so I am pumped to be getting back into this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually focus on epic space battles pretty heavy, I think, for the next couple of weeks. We're just going to do this a lot. I'm going to bounce between this and the new series. So the new series is a shorter one. It's not a full short film. It's just like a shot or two that we're going to do, but it's an animated sequence from a race. We're doing this hover car race. So we're going to be doing that, and I'll be doing that in live streams, and then those aren't going public. So I don't make those public yet. I'm editing that in the background. I'm preparing that, putting that together. And then, so this will be the main thing that'll be popping in the channel. So I'm going to take a break from the short one-off tutorials that we've been doing. So I've been in this habit of every week I do a stream, and then I edit it, and I release a short one-off tutorial. So I'm just going to take a break on those and just focus on this so we can get some more of these. Now these will be available to everyone. I'll put these out. So when I finish these live streams, unlike the usual stuff that's always, the live streams are only for the YouTube channel members or for people on Patreon. These live streams I make available to everybody because I want epic space battles to be something that anyone can watch from beginning to end, except for the beginning. So a little caveat to that, the beginning set of tutorials, which is all about how to make this spaceship that you see here, and how to make the little spider bot character that we use. Those tutorials, so how to model the ship, how to model the spider bot, materials, textures, and rigging, that's all exclusive to Patreon and exclusive to channel members on YouTube at the all access pass level. So that's going to continue to be the case. And also, if you want to get the project files, so I've got about 20 project files, I think now, around this project, and it's got everything that you'll see when we start working on it. That's all available only on Patreon at the moment at the $20 level. So it's up there a little bit. I've moved it into just the $20 level because there's so many project files now. It's a lot of value, so I want to make sure I don't diminish that value by putting it in a too low of a tier. Because eventually I want to put this together as a course and sell it on the Blender market, so you can get all the project files that way. That's kind of what I do. I kind of phase them through Patreon into Blender market. So hope that all makes sense. Hope you're excited about it. Hope you're interested. If you haven't seen any of these, there's a playlist on my YouTube page. If you just go to the front homepage of my YouTube channel and just scroll down, there's a playlist dedicated to epic space battles. I changed the name. It started as Epic Space Battles, and then I changed it to Making a Sci-Fi Movie to see if I'd get more people to watch it. I don't know. It's all a mystery. YouTube's a mystery. Anyways, it's a fun series. We're going to have a good time with it. So, all right. Let me sip my coffee. And as always, give me feedback. Let me know what you guys enjoy, what you're interested in, and interrupt me with questions. Let me know. I'm really much more able to engage with chat when doing this because I'm not trying to perform and record a tutorial. We don't record these. This is just, we keep these as live streams. So really, really great just to be able to engage with everybody a little bit as well. So awesome. Thanks, DD. DD on YouTube says, yeah, your tutorials are terrific. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. It's very encouraging. C4K says, hey, speaking of the spider bot, I made a YouTube channel art and used an image of my result from your tutorial on it. Oh, that's cool, man. I'll have to check that out. I'll have a good look at it. Theodore says, bro, I'm literally working on my own space scene. Excellent. That was the idea. I wanted this series to be like the ultimate series for anybody that's making a space scene, because a lot of people are doing that. A lot of people are making fan films, like Star Wars fan films or Star Trek, and it's fun to have a series tutorials that focus on like how can you make yours look as good as possible. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully this helps. I'm hoping there's a lot of cool fan films that come out of this. Anyways, here we are in our environment. we're going to start as always with the Premiere project. So I'm going to open this up now. As I say always, doesn't matter what editing software you use. There's nothing special about Premiere that makes me use it. It's just the one I've got. So, you know, you can edit this for free if you're using Resolve. I mean, you could use Blender. I guess technically it's a bit slow, although they are optimizing it, so it's going to get better. And yeah, it's going to be it's just whatever works for you. That's what's important. There's nothing in here that I'll talk about that you can't do in any other piece of software. This is just, I'm not doing any fancy editing stuff. So 4K says I mentioned that it was a tutorial I followed, and your name. Hope that's cool. If not, let me know. Hey, of course, definitely. Any shout outs. I'll take any shout out I can get. Shout outs help. Okay. We'll start off by watching the whole thing from the beginning so you can see what we're up to. I've kind of stopped doing the sound effects. I'm just focusing on the animation at the moment. And I'll make sure you've got audio turned on. Yes, you do. All right. So let's full screen this and have a watch. If you haven't seen this before, you're in for a treat, hopefully. Anyway, give me a 1 in chat if you've never seen this before. If you've never watched. I'm curious if there's anyone in here that's going to see this for the first time. I assume, you know, because I see it all the time, I assume that everyone knows exactly where we're at, has seen the whole thing 100 times, and, you know, just curious. 1 in chat. Let me know. All right, we'll go ahead and watch this. Enjoy. Let's turn my face off. Oh, we got some first timers. All right. Let me know if the audio is all right too. And that's what we're up to. Turn myself back on. So we've made some good progress. We're at the exciting point where the hero ship flies off. I get goosebumps every time I watch it. Okay. Hi, Dreer. Welcome. Hi, David S. Good to have you. Thanks for joining. So that's what we're making. If you want to learn how to make that, everything is there on YouTube. So check it out. Or if you want to watch, if you know how to make the ship, you got to go to Patreon or become a channel member. That's the only thing. Everything else, you can make that with me step by step. So the tutorials themselves like cover all the way up until, where is it? We do all this as tutorials. Yeah, pretty much it stops right about here. So after this explosion one, this one, so all the tutorials actually take you step by step, making every shot up until this point. And then from this point on, yeah, from this point shot, it's all kind of in these live stream casual ones. So very worth your time. If I was getting started and was looking for a tutorial series, oh man, I would have been so excited if somebody had made this. All right. Now let's talk about what's next. So let's listen to the music. I'll turn the music off eventually so you're not spammed with it because it gets a bit crazy. So where we're at in the story, we've got our little bots are running away. I'll turn down the background noise so you can still hear it. Yeah, we got the exciting acceleration point. So next thing I want to do is, so I'm trying to get the hero ship to reunite with the little droid guy. I'm thinking maybe right about to there. Now I haven't storyboarded this. That's one thing that I should have talked about. We're not running off storyboards for this. I actually I've loosely storyboarded it, and I've kind of made notes on my timeline about like what I want to happen. So I've got the story figured out. But what I want to do is have the really like go in and like focus in on what is the actual kind of vibe that I'm getting. And part of the fun was Eevee, right? So having really following Eevee, being able to render stuff in real time made me want to try and make this kind of without, I guess, so much planning and kind of get in there and get messy with it. So not the best way, I guess, but we've had fun with it. But anyways, all right, let's think about what's next. I think that's long enough. I'm just trying to think about right now, like what's the timing for this next shot and what I want to have happen. Yeah, it's going to be roughly around this long, I think. So that's going to be 2 seconds, 22 frames. I might just do 3 seconds. And I want to have a shot side on with the spaceship kind of flying through the asteroids. So I feel like we're still in this moment. We're kind of like excited about our hero. So I want to just stay with the hero for a little bit and have the asteroids flying through. And I'm going to have the ship kind of moving through. All right. There we go. Let's go into this. Oh, Dreer, what do you mean all the tutorials are worthless? Do you not like them? Oh, right. I see what you're saying. I just looked at your comment, Dreer, and I'm like, oh wow, that's a shame that you feel that way, because oh man. Then I saw your previous comment. You're trying to figure out how to. Dreer says, okay, I'm so trying to make a space game, preferably in Unreal, and I have no idea where to start. All the tutorials are worthless. Yeah, it is hard to find good tutorials on Unreal. Unreal's just so complicated, so tough. But that's partly, I don't know, I've found it frustrating too, trying to find stuff. Anyways, right, let's see. Let me get rid of our stream start student text. So what I've got here is I've just started a fresh file. Well, not fresh file, but what I've been doing is I reuse the file. So I just kind of save it as a new one. I delete the stuff I don't need, and I start from scratch. So I'm not doing this whole film in one project file. I've got kind of each shot in its own project file. And that just helps me manage it. I need to get a camera set up, and I need to have him flying through. I've got my audio queued up here. Now, let's see, unmute the strip. So let's see. Did have a question. So Nick the Coder was asking on YouTube how we work with audio in Blender. What you do with that is you need to come over to the over here, the little where is it? The slate video sequencer. The video sequencer is basically like the video editor in Blender. So if you open up the video sequencer, you can import things into your project file like audio clips. So I've rendered out an audio clip. So I just came to Premiere and I exported out a section here. And you can just Shift A to add, and you can select what you want to add. And I added in a sound, or you could do a movie as well. And that brings it into the timeline. And now that will actually play, so if I hit play, you can hear it there. So it plays in the background. You can grab these strips and move them around and get them positioned correctly. So then when you want to export, you've got an audio section in your scene right here, and you can change the volume, like the master volume and stuff, but you can also do all that stuff in here. I always recommend rendering out as an image sequence, so that if you make any mistakes or there's any problems in a particular frame, you can just go render that one frame again and not, spend all this time. You don't waste time going through and, messing it up. But if you really want to render out as a movie file and change your file format to something like a QuickTime or an FFmpeg video, then it'll export the audio with it. So it kind of pulls it through sequencer and does it that way. So anyways, let me know if that makes sense. So see you, Dreer. Sorry you're having woes trying to find good game making tutorials. Good luck out there. If you want some really good tutorials on programming, I recommend, if you haven't found them already, check out The Cherno on YouTube. He's got this incredible series on C++. If you ever wanted to learn that, man, That guy does a great job teaching. Okay. Let's get a camera set up. Now, I already have a camera here, actually, because I've locked camera to view. And so I've got multiple cameras. I don't need multiple cameras, so I might delete this other camera just to kind of keep it simple. I'm going to make sure I don't have my constraint on there from before. We have a camera path constraint that we use sometimes. We're not going to need it for this shot. So I need to think about what I want to achieve. I want to have like a shot with lots of asteroids passing in front of camera and passing behind camera. So I need to set up a bit of animation with the camera in through a section of the asteroid field that looks nice and dense. Something like this, I think, is quite nice. And we're going to be traveling pretty fast, so I'll need a lot of it as well. I might rearrange my asteroids to get it. First thing I'll do is I'll make sure that my asteroids are baked properly. So let me come up to my asteroid particles. Where is it? I need my asteroid emitter, not my particles. Oh, that's right. They're in world control. Asteroid emitter. That's what I need. I'm going to come to one of these emitters. I'm just going to have to make sure that everything's baked. Yeah, it looks like it's all baked already, so we're safe there. All right. So, hey, we got a viewer on Facebook. Hi. Thanks for joining us on Facebook. And Twitch, we're up to 3. That's great. 3 is like our current best, I think, on Twitch. I think we hit 5 once, which is pretty exciting. So appreciate all the follows over on Twitch. We've almost hit 50. That's the big goal over there. And if you haven't subscribed on YouTube, please consider giving us a subscribe. We're trying to hit 10,000. The goal is 10,000 by the end of February. So see if you can help us get there. What Weasel on Twitch gives me a monkey emoji. Hi. Thanks for coming. All right. I will mute the audio until it's worth you hearing it, because otherwise you're just gonna get really sick of it. All right, let me find a nice dense area. We'll go from there. I'll try this. Bring this down a little bit, and I also want to adjust. Where's my camera? Let's adjust our lens. I feel like this needs to be a bit of a tighter lens. We're on a 35 right now. I want to zoom in a bit. I want to get like lots of, maybe I'll go to a 75 mil. And I'll come over here to my controls for the camera. And let me go back to the first frame. And I'm going to give myself, I've got my timeline right down here. So thanks, Pop Nerd. Pop Nerd on YouTube says, hey, I haven't watched this entire series yet, but what I've seen from the render so far looks amazing. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it when you do watch it. 24. So how long? We're going 3 seconds. So I'm doing 24 frames a second. So I'm doing in my little timeline down here. I'm typing in 24 times 3. That'll give me how many frames I need to have 3 seconds of animation. And I'm going to set a keyframe for my location and rotation for my camera. And then I'll go to the last frame here, and I will just move through the scene like this. Oops, not like that. See, I'll just move along the X. Yeah, just to keep it nice and clean. Just keep going here. I'll move this pretty far, I think, because I want to have some speed in this shot. I'll set a keyframe here and here. Didn't quite have it. I'm going to switch this to my dope sheet. And I'll grab this here just so it's nice and lined up. And I'm going to box select this whole set, and I'm going to right click here, and I'm going to go Interpolation Linear, because I don't want it to speed up and slow down. I want the camera to be moving at a constant rate. Yo, Markham 3D, how's it going? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining today. We're doing some epic space battles. It's one of my favorites. Haven't touched it in ages. Markham does awesome short films. Check out his channel if you haven't already. Go give him a subscribe, like, follow. It's on Twitch too. Spam your links, Markham. All right, that's way too fast, but that's all right. Get this right. Just get this out. Okay, I'll grab all these, move them over a little bit. Okay, that's pretty good. We won't know for sure until we get the ship in place. So let me unlock my camera from view. And let's jump out here. Mike Murphy said, I just followed Mark. I'm glad to be in the right tutorial scene. Yeah. Markham's going to take over the world. All right, let's find our ship lost somewhere. Lost in space. I gotta remember where I put it in my hierarchy. I don't even remember what I've called it. Hero ship, that's it. There he is. Let's jump back into the camera. What I'll do is I'll find something I can select. Is there anything in here? Nope. All right, so what I'll do is I'll select my camera. This is a good little trick if you're ever lost. Select your camera, Shift S, cursor to selected, and then go find the hero ship control. Shift S, selection to cursor. Now the ship is right on top of the camera. All right, let's see. Danger, danger, C. Bailey. What do you say that for, 4K? Do you think Markham's encroaching on the territory? Never. There is no encroaching. YouTube's big enough for everybody. That's the secret. All right, let's see. Find a good distance from the camera. Something like this. Now we could do this a couple of ways. We could parent the ship to the camera to inherit that initial motion and then just do subtle animations on the ship. I want to do stuff like this. And I think we're going to want to put some shake in the camera and a slight push in, maybe on the front, I think. Hey, White Rooster, welcome. You haven't missed much. We're just getting started. Yeah, it's the sci-fi film. We're back into it. Back into it. Epic space battles. Oh, 4K, I got it. I mentioned Lost in Space. That's right. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. Good reference. All right. Do I want to do this? Do I want to parent them together? I think so. No, I don't, because I want the camera to be pushing in. So yeah, if I parent it, then it's going to get too complicated. So let's take this thing and we're going to go to our first frame, and I'll move him along the X. Which way do we need to go? Where is he? Out of my camera. Set on him. Yeah, X is right. Back in. There we go. That's one of the advantages, remember we talked about earlier in the series, orienting everything along the X or Y plane in your scene. If you're doing a big battle, you know, it just helps you stay oriented. But it's also a lot easier just to move your things around because you can just grab on the X and pull them to wherever it is you need to be. You know, if I was at a weird angle, it just makes it a lot harder. So anyways, Mike Murphy says, this is the way. This is the way. German Trekkie, how's it going? Welcome. German Trekkie was throwing me some recommendations this morning on doing some possible tutorials on Star Trek ships. Send me some cool links. It's on my list. All right, we're going to start him in frame. So I'll hit a hero ship control selected. I'll hit a keyframe for location and rotation. I'll go to the end. X. I'm doing well, thank you. Doing well. Had a nice weekend and ready for another week. Pretty excited to be back into this series. Now we right click on these, interpolate linear again, because again, we don't want it speeding up and slowing down. This is just like a constant rate of motion. And another thing to bear in mind too. So hi Cosmic Idiot on YouTube says, hello there. Hello back. Hey, we've hit 4 on Twitch. Things are looking good. So another thing to remember when doing animation, so for yourself, always bear in mind, your shots will look terrible right up until the end when you've finalized it. So you just keep pushing it. Part of being a good Blender artist or any kind of artist is just knowing how far to push things, how far you can go, and also having an expectation of when will it start looking good. So you'll notice like this isn't a very exciting shot yet, but you know, it's pretty terrible if we stop there, but yeah, it's all right. We're going to get better. See you, Lionel. Thanks for coming. Have a bonne soirée aussi. Awesome. Good. Merci. De rien. À tout à l'heure. Thanks for coming. Oh, and thanks for translating your comment for the crowd. That's nice. Hi, Creepy Ann. Cool name. All right. So let's think. I want to have I want it to be tighter. I want to have some bump, and I want to be moving in. Let's get the ship kind of moving right first. So let's see. Everyone's big in French now in chat. Oh wow, nighttime in Europe. Yep, Narian is in Europe. Very late for everyone over in Europe. You guys are in the opposite time zone than me. I apologize. It's rough. That's rough. But yeah, this will be up on the channel tomorrow, so you can check it out when you wake up. All right, let's get some animation going on this guy. I'm gonna create a little bit of a kind of like an in and out. Like let's have him dodge an asteroid. Let's have him dodge an asteroid. It's good to give him some kind of action. Let me pop out of the camera. I'll just see where he's moving. Let's get it from above. Okay, so we'll put an asteroid in there that he can dodge. Thanks, Pop Nerd. Pop Nerd on YouTube says, everyone watching, don't forget to like the video. That's really encouraging. Yes, please like. If you're over on Twitch, please follow. I mean, if you want this kind of content, follow. Don't if you're not interested. That'd be silly. Don't worry. Down thumbs actually promote the video just as well as up thumbs. So let's see. I'll start with some rotation. So, 4K. Thanks so much for the super chat. Appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Very kind. Do some rotation. Actually, let's put some logic into it. I'm gonna grab the asteroid particle. Where are you? Oh, here they are. These are our hero asteroids. Yeah, 62. It's pretty exciting. 62 viewers on YouTube. That's a really nice audience size. Thanks everybody for joining. I'm gonna use one of these guys, and I will duplicate him and take him out of the asteroid particle collection so that I don't have to. It's not going to be in the particle itself. I'm going to Shift S and selection to cursor just to get it up where my camera is. And let's see. Let's grab it on the X and on the Y. And what I'm doing now is I'm thinking about, so I've got this, simple shot where it's just flying, but it's good to put some logic into it, and it will really play into the animation. So what I'm thinking about now is I want him to kind of zoom up and then zoom around an asteroid. I want to give myself a bit time on the end of the shot to have him kind of zoom back into that frame of the shot. So I need to think about. So I'll probably do the asteroid dodge right here in the middle. So I'm going to go to the middle point of my timeline and I'll move the asteroid so that it's kind of in the right spot. And now I want to think about the framing. So I might scale it down a little bit just so it doesn't like just completely fill the frame. Just find a good profile as well for the object. It's good. So somewhere right about here. So he's going to fly around that and then come back. Actually, I might bring it forward just a little bit. So we've got more of this at the head, and you know what? It's so small now, it's kind of, I'm not really noticing as much. So I will scale it up. There's a bit of, what happens if I length it out? I'm going to try scaling it up a lot. Yep, this will be good. All right, now it's really big and he's flying right through it. So let's get some animation going for this ship. Right. Here we go. Oh, thanks, Landfear. Appreciate the shout out for the Patreon and the Blender Market. It's very kind of you. Yeah, thanks, Mike Murphy. Yeah, it's all about knowing the algorithm. That's it. Welcome, Wiblitz. Well, it's nice to have you. I don't know any Polish, but it's good to have you. Thank you for joining. All right. Let's see. Let's go. I'll figure out this part. So right here, I want him to be. Let's see. Y. I'm going to drag him like this, and I will rotate him like this. So keyframe, keyframe. So he's going to do this nice fly around like that. And I might rotate him back like this here for the end. And then what I want to do is I'm going to create kind of a double motion. So he instead of like slowly rotating to dodge like this, we come about halfway between these sets of keyframes. And I'm going to go like this, so that there's more dynamic motion in the shot, right? And I'm also going to move him over like this, so that it's more of a like a definitive dodge. You know, he kind of. Now it looks really bad right now, right? Because he's well, partly because I think we'll look at our curves, but they feel really. See how they're kind of sharp. So we'll have to refine that. There we go. Genesis translates for me. Says that he said I'm from Poland and I don't know what I'm doing here. He's lost. Yeah, you're having fun. Hopefully. Hopefully. Okay, now let's pop into our, actually before we pop on the camera, let's go ahead and fix up that motion. I'm going to go to my graph editor, and yeah, these are all linear keyframes. So because we set our interpolation to linear, now all these keyframes are linear. So I'm going to come back over into my dope sheet, and I can just select these middle ones and right click and say Bezier as the interpolation mode. Actually, I'll just do it for all of them. And then what we can do is we can go to the actual location keyframes here. So Z location never changes, so it's just these. And we can come into the graph editor for those particular keyframes. So he's not speeding up and slowing down. Although, actually, let's watch it, because it might be interesting. And he's going way too fast, too. He's doing way too much. You can start to see where I'm going with this, though, yeah? We might need a little more time for this shot. Yeah, let's give this shot a little more breathing room. Let's come back over to our timeline. I'll drag out, see, I'll do 24, instead of 3 seconds, let's add another second. So maybe 2 more seconds. Let's go 5, 120. I'll come back to my dope sheet. Just bring this up a bit. Everybody having fun? Hope you're enjoying this. I'm going to hit A to select all. Also, I'm going to turn off this, which is only shows selected, because I'm going to mess with all my keyframes. Well, except for I don't want these 4 asteroids to be messed with. So let's actually do have a bit of extra animation. Small wing jets. Let's see. I'll take. Actually, I will use this, but I'll select my hero ship control, and then I'll find my camera, and I'll hold down control and click the camera. Now I've got both of those selected, so I've got those specific keyframes shown. So, hey, Bastian, welcome. Good to see you too. Glad to have you back. All right, so let's extend. I'm gonna come to the beginning of my frame with all these keyframes selected. I'm gonna S to scale, and that's just gonna scale them up from that point at the beginning of the timeline. And I'm gonna scale it up till I've got this keyframe right there. Yeah, that's pretty good. And you know what? The speeding up and speeding down doesn't actually hurt too much. Yeah, this is gonna be good. Cool, looking good. Here, I'll let you guys hear it with the music. Oh, that's right. I just need to unmute it. Yeah. That's what it's like with the music. Sorry. There we go. As you can see, it's kind of fitting nicely. All right, let's get back to refining this action. It's the best way for me to get a hold of this. All right, I think I need to, I'm going to bring this up so I've got a bit more room to work with. Keep this set to timeline. So I've got these controls down here, and then I'm going to switch this to the graph editor. Bring it over just a touch. And I don't need this window, so I'll pull that out. Select all, and I'll hit the full stop key on my number keypad to zoom all those keyframes in. And now I'll start thinking about what I want. So this motion along the X, let's go to the X location. I'm going to take this and scale it down. So by scaling it down, you see how the handles are getting closer to that central keyframe. I'm basically decreasing the speed up factor. It's sort of just now it's a linear motion without making it a linear keyframe. Now I might bring it up just a little bit because it's nice to have some variation, you know, in the, I might even drag this up a little bit. So I've got like more of a curve. And the ship kind of gets ahead of us a bit too much here. So let's see, how can we fix that? I might rotate. I'll take this maybe and I'll scale it down as well a little bit so it's not too far. So welcome, Cebu. Good to have you. Okay, so you see how there's a little jerk in his motion now? We gotta fix that. One thing we could do is delete this keyframe. That's gonna help smooth it out. Now let's figure out what's that. That motion there along the Y feels a bit too strong. So let's come to this. Let's grab this on the X. Let's move it back a little bit so it starts a little sooner. Yeah, cool. And when he comes in here, it'd be nicer if he was closer to camera. So if we like bring this curve up. See how that's kind of nice. It's got that good, nice feel to it. We might bring this out a little bit. Bring this one down. You can use the X and Y keys like to lock where you drag a keyframe. What do you guys prefer? Would you like to have the music on in the background like this while I'm doing this so you can hear it and feel the pacing as well? Or is it too annoying? Let me know in chat. Just say music on or music off. Okay, I feel like he's got a moment here. It's like a frame where he drops back behind the camera. So that would be our X location. What's happening there? We just need to scale it down. Irish says off, okay. I could lower the music more, yeah, that's not a bad idea. I think it does get kind of annoying, so I will turn it off eventually, I think. Maybe, is that a good volume? All right, I like that motion. That feels good. Zoom. Yeah, cool. All right. Now, one thing we could do is when we come to this point right here, I wonder if I feel like maybe we need to go down at some point. We never really go down, which is the Z location. That just kind of stays the same. What happens if we bring one of these down just a little bit? And then maybe like right here, what if we grab this up a touch? It's a little too much. Turn off my handle so I'm not watching that. That can be deceptive, that orange, cursor that we have for the object that's selected, because we're seeing its motion. If we get rid of it, we're going to see what the viewer sees, and that's a bit more, realistic for us. Yeah, it's good. One thing that I am thinking is that I really like this Y motion, but I'm not sure I want him to come back. So I think I'll flatten out this. So if I go, let's see, does scale Y work? Yeah. So if I scale Y 0, that will flatten out that handle, and then I can grab Y and bring it up. So now he's going to come to this position. He's not going to fly back. Yeah, it's good. All right, awesome. Now, let's see. All right, let's also animate the little foils. So we've got these foils that are animatable, and they're pretty cool. There's a subtle effect. Yeah, it's under wing fold, under properties. We built this. This is in the Patreon only tutorials where we built this rig, or the channel member only tutorials. If anyone becomes a channel member on YouTube, by the way, and has a hard time tracking down these tutorials, they're all in the comments section, and I've posted them there for channel members only, so they all come up as channel member only posts. That's how you find them. You can search as well, specifically for it. But ping me, let me know, like, send me a message or something if you have trouble with it. Chat's asking where Rathalos has been. She's over on Twitch. You can find her every now and then. She streams as Samantha. What's her Twitch channel? I don't remember. Samantha something on Twitch. You could ping her on the Discord though. She's still around. All right, so let's take these wing folds, and I'll set a keyframe here. And then I'll come around like this. And as he starts to zoom, I'm going to pull him in. And then another keyframe here. And wham, as he hits that point, scale him back out. See how that looks. Make sure it happens behind that asteroid, so it feels a bit like it's a bit of a jump change. So let's just do that. I'm going to hit full stop just to focus in on the wing fold. There we go. And let's see, I need to move them to right about here, I think. So grab on the X, I'll just drag it up like this. Yeah. Oh, Mac Graphic says, love the series. Thanks so much, Mac. I really appreciate it. Okay, now let's think about the camera. We're going to create some emphasis with this shot. So I'm going to be pushing in, I think. So let's grab our camera and let's go back to our first frame. And we've got our camera keyframes. Where are they? If you can't find something, hit A to select all in the graph view, and then full stop or period on your number keypad. That'll zoom out to everything I've selected. So that's a great way to find it. All right, so I want to be kind of pushing in the whole time. So that's going to be the Y location of our camera. So I'm actually going to select just the Y keyframes, Y, and then I'll hit full stop again, and that will zoom in so that it's like the scale of your curve. Sometimes this curve looks flat, but it really has some motion to it because there's other curves that are selected that are way bigger, and it's trying to fit all of it to view. So let's grab this on the Y, and I'll move it around until we can figure out which way we need to go. I'll just keep dragging it down. maybe right about here. Don't need a whole lot, you know, just. All right, it's good. Now let's come to our camera and I'm going to just check, see what a closer lens looks like. Maybe make this a little smaller. Yeah, I think I like it closer. I think that's kind of the vibe I want to get with this. Wanda says, how do I keep getting to these streams? I'll be watching a random video and then I accidentally press on this. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. 4K nailed it. It's your hex power warping reality. 4K always knows what's going on. That's what happens when we go over 50 viewers on a live stream on YouTube. We've hit 84 now. So YouTube starts suggesting this to random people. All right. Notice how many times I'm playing back the shot. I think sometimes when people are trying to make their own animation, they want to move a lot faster, and you kind of lose the expectation of how long it takes to do a shot. But if you really sit with a shot and just have fun with it, you'll really get it to a good spot. I mean, think about where we started and where we're at now. You can see already that we've come so far. We're just thinking about it one step at a time, and we're not rushing on. I mean, this is just 5 seconds of our whole short film, right? So that's why they take so long. I'm going to come to my camera. Let's see. Let's go for, I want to put a little bit of bump in this camera. So I think I want some Z bump, so up and down. So I'm going to open up a little side menu, go to modifiers, add a modifier, and go noise. And I'll just drag this out so we can see a little bit better. And also I'll hit full stop to focus in on the Z location keyframes. Where are you? Z location, here you go. All right, now let's take the strength down and the scale, pull the scale out, see what it looks like. Move it up a bit. Let's bring it right in. Bring this down. That's way too much. I think this could work. Let's try this. I'll copy this one. And then I'm going to come over to the, do some rotation. Which rotation is going to look the best for us? This one's a good one, the Y. Z, not so much. I think X and Y are the only ones I want. So let's go, first we'll go to the Y. I'll paste that in, see what this looks like. Oh, no, wait, not the Y location, sorry. I want the Y rotation. Paste it into this one. I'll turn the strength down because that's way too much. Yeah, it's good. All right, let's go to the X. Actually, I'll go back to the Y, copy that one. Let's go to the X. Let's paste that. Okay, we need to turn that down. So I'll go to 0.05. It's half it. 0.03. Yeah, that's nice. Maybe a bit less, 0.01. Let's try that. It's good. Now, one thing that I'm thinking is the lead time. So with the ship, you can see how it's getting towards the front of our frame, and he's kind of like peeking out from the frame. I don't want that. I actually want the ship to kind of be like the front of the ship is the face of this character, right? So I kind of want us to be focusing in on the face. That's important for helping the audience continue to relate to this hero figure, this ship. So we're trying to really emphasize that right now. We're trying to connect the audience to the hero. That's really important. So we're pushing in on the face. So to fix that, I need to go to my hero ship control, and I need to go to my X location. Which I'll just hit A to select all, and then I'll find it. Where is it? There it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hit G and Y. So I'm grabbing this keyframe. I'm restricting it to the Y, so just up and down. And then I'm going to move him. Oh, actually, I've selected everything. I need to deselect everything. There we go. So G, Y, and I'm just going to move it just till I get a framing that I like. Now, you know, think about the rule of thirds. Divide your frame into 3 quadrants. So basically, like, you know, one line in the middle to half it, and then half those 2 halves. And, well, it's not quite like that, is it? No, yeah, so 3 quadrants. So 1 space, 2 spaces, 3 spaces. And you want to line it up with one of those lines. So this guy's right here. Now, it'd be ideal if we kind of moved it up a little bit. This would be kind of the ideal point. But I think this is all right because we got this camera shake. Anyways, now we're pushing in on the face. All right, great. I'm going to save this. Now, let's see. Let's go for... I'm just looking at chat. See what you guys have been talking about. We've gotten on off in a tangent over on YouTube. Yeah, I do actually have the 7th stone. That's true. All right, so now let's start thinking about the render. Well, what's this going to look like? Let's have a look at our systems. So I'll just I'll turn on the viewport rendering. Hopefully it won't kill the stream. Last time I did this, it actually killed my computer. I hit render and I was doing so much, like streaming and rendering and all this, and it like I was pulling too much power into the laptop, and it overloaded the power brick, and the whole thing cut off and the stream died. So anyways, if we disappear, I'll come right back. I just have to restart it. We won't though, it'll be fine. See, it's fine. We're fine. I was a little nervous. All right, let's have a look at what our, well, because we'll need to change our lights and stuff, and we'll need to rearrange our scene a touch. We also have to make sure he's not actually intersecting any asteroids. So let's just go through frame by frame and have a look. Overall, it's looking good. Let's intersect that. No. We're going to turn motion blur on for this as well. Hi, Mandy. Welcome. Thanks for joining. White Rooster says, we got to get Chris a desktop with a 3090. That'd be nice. Let's see. Let me just check. 3. Yeah, cool. All right. Oh yeah, 100 viewers on YouTube. That's exciting. Hi, 100 people. You're amazing. Hi, 3 people on Twitch. You guys are great too. Let's see. What's chat saying? Oh, talking about you guys want to get me a 3090. Look, I'll take a 3090 with a 5950X. That'd be fun. Sure. Send it to me in the mail. That'd be great. I should do one of those, you know, like when Twitch streamers have like that bar at the bottom when they're fundraising for a new PC. I should totally do that. Anyways, they do have, I don't know if I can get them. It's a good question. White Rooster on YouTube's asking, can you get them in Aussie land yet? Or are they scarce there too? I think they're scarce here too. They're scarce everywhere. Scalpers exist everywhere. RTXs, PlayStation 5s, Xbox, whatever's, forget it. All right. I think the lighting is looking good with the motion blur too. It's really gonna make a lot of this work well. And I like that we've got like it feels like the lights are on the right side in terms of the dark and light of everything. It's going to head over to my shader editor and go to the world shader. I'm just making sure that I've got some volume. I don't have any volume. All right, I might want to put some volume in. Wish I had that still. I wonder why I don't have any volume. Must have turned it off at some point. Back to the 3D view. Okay, so Mike Murphy says, I was just complaining to my girlfriend that Sasquatch has like 9,000 views and you only have 100 when you're a superior content. That's kind of you to say. It's all about, you know, YouTube voodoo. If you do it right, it all works out. All right, we get some weird stuff here, but I don't think that's a problem. That's just a render artifact. Where we're going. I might take my lights and just rotate a little bit just to kind of see if I can't get a slightly better, because we're really like blasting the side of the ship. You know, it's super, super hot. That doesn't necessarily look good. Just tweak these guys a little bit. Bring this around. That's kind of cool. It's pretty dark though. Probably won't be able to see what we're looking at. Let's maybe focus on this moment. Like, does it look cool if we just rim light the ship a bit? Or maybe like we hit the bottom of the ship like that. So when it comes through, nah, it's too dark. Like, we really need to be, able to, you got to think about clarity. Like, you know, you got to make sure the audience understands what they're actually looking at. So, yeah, now we've lost the vibe. It's all about the vibe. Stray movie reference. If anyone knows what it is, put it in chat. I'll send you a free copy of Blender. Feels a bit flat, doesn't it? Let me check. What's my angle? It is 0. Might drop my angle to 0 on this one too. So the angle, basically what it does is it controls how much the light wraps around an object. So you have a high angle, then your sun lamp is going to wrap. The light's going to actually curve around objects. Whereas you get sharper shadows and sharper highlights when you don't wrap. You have a 0 angle. I like the light from my camera as well. I find that helps to, yeah, just give me a feel for what the shot really does look like. Right, I'm going to try and hit the bottom of the ship again. I don't have a lot of, you know, clarity on like how I'm moving the light, but I don't mind that. It might bother some people, but I kind of, when I'm looking in a camera and I'm seeing the effect of it, I think that's really what works for me. So yeah, I think this is good. Now, one thing that might be fun would be, I wonder if we can get any lights like from the thrusters. I wonder if we can get some reflections on the objects. Like if I select my hero ship, I go cursor to selected, so Shift S, and then Shift A, light, point light, and then grab it on the X and just bring it right here so it's behind the ship. And then find my hero ship controller. So control click hero ship control. Come over into my viewport, control P to parent, and parent to object. Now this little light is parented to that. Now if I turn this up to like 1,000, make it a bit blue. Let's go 10,000. Let's go nuts. See if we hit any of the asteroids with that light. See if it does anything. No, we don't really, do we? We can fake it though. So it'd be kind of cool if we saw it right here. So let's grab that light on the Y and just keep bringing it over. Now remember, you can do this kind of stuff. You could fake things. It doesn't have to like physically be close to another object. If you're artistically looking at it going, actually be cool if we had a little glint of light there as we went past, just, you know, find a way to fake it. So this doesn't technically make sense because he's too far for that light to cast, but it's going to be nice. Like it's going to actually work. So we'll come around and then we'll have this boom, kind of burst moment where as he passes the asteroid, it's going to look really nice. So I might even bring it in here just so we get lots of bloom off that. I almost want to see a jet cone coming off of these guys as well. Let's have a look at doing that. Let's zoom in on our ship. And we've done things like that in previous versions of this series, and we do have these, you know, these hot kind of jets. Go back into my frame, my shaded view. I'll select this polygon, and this one is, it's a mirrored object, all right? I'm going to hit Shift D to duplicate, and then P to separate by selection. Okay, I'm going to go out of edit mode. I'll just select it. There we go. And I'll hit full stop to find it. All right, so here it is. Here's ship.001. Let's take this and let's go into edit mode with it, and let's hit E to extrude and grab it on the X and drag it out. Okay. And let's just see if we can get this to work. Do I want to do it this way? Let me think. I mean, the other way is to, I'm just thinking if I want to have it curve, you know, like have a nice flow, like a particle stream would do. That's a little more complex. Let's see if we can get away with just this. So I'll exit edit mode. They look kind of funny just as is, but if I come over here and on this guy, I'm going to get rid of all these other materials. So we just have the one material on it. Let's jump back into my camera and get rid of my selection mode. Now what I'm thinking we could do is, let's create a new shader. So I'll click the double paper icon. Let's split this view, go into our shader editor. And let's, be an object. And then what I'm going to do is actually use a gradient to fade it off. So the further it gets from the ship, the dimmer it gets. So if I grab a gradient node and a color ramp, grab this. Hope everybody's having fun today. Again, it's great to have you. I really enjoy sharing this with you. So thank you for joining me. Any questions you have, please throw them in chat. I'm happy to answer questions. Whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook, I can see all of you. All right, I'm going to take this color and stick it into the factor, and then let's see. I'm going to use, I'll need to use it because I need to have transparency, and the emission shader doesn't allow for transparency. Let's get a better view here so we can actually see what we're doing. And we don't need such a big timeline. Drag this down. Try and keep remembering you guys and setting up views that you can actually see stuff in. All right, so we need to use another shader to get this to work. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to Shift A and I'm going to grab a transparent Bsdf shader. Okay, so this is a simple shader. It doesn't take much for the computer to calculate, and it just does alpha transparency. I'm going to mix these two together. So I need to get a mix shader, which is different from the mix RGB node. Don't get confused there. This mixes between two different shaders. So you could have two really complex, principal Bsdf nodes, shader systems, and have them mix together in one, which is really cool. It's a good way to do transitions. Like if you want to have an object that's like a solid object, and then it like kind of morphs into like a glowy object, you can have two totally different shaders in one material, and then use a big shader and animate the factor, and it'll fade between the two. It's really cool. All right, so because we're in Eevee, I'm going to go to my options under settings here, and I'm going to go blend mode. I need to go alpha. Hashed or blend, doesn't matter. I'll try blend first. It looks a bit better with blend. I'm going to say no for shadows. I don't want to worry about shadows. And show backface doesn't really matter without blend for this one. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the color as the factor. So this will be the factor to blend between the two. It's not going to work yet because I need to have a vector to let Blender know how to place it. You see when I move this around, it doesn't quite. Oh no, yeah, there we go. It is working actually. We don't need a vector. So I'm going to set this to maybe B-spline. That's a really subtle one, and I'm going to flip it. So I'll put the dark side. No, that's right. Yeah, that's right. The bright side's at the shape. So pull this out. There we go. See how that works? So now I've got the jet cones. Now, I'm going to pull this in so it's a bit brighter right at the jets. I might try E, see if the fall off's a little bit better. No, that's a bit too much. Let's go back to B-spline. Okay, now we also, this hard line doesn't look very good. Like it won't work very well for us. I'll jump into my camera view. Actually, it's pretty good. We need some noise. We need some, like, you know, something going on inside that to make it feel like we want it to. So how do we do that? Let's grab the noise texture, and we'll use it with the factor, I think. And what can I do? I could actually, if I pick an empty in our world, okay, I'm gonna grab another color ramp. Chat's gone quiet. You guys all still there? There's 85 of you on YouTube, so I know there's somebody still there. You're all mesmerized. Let's take the factor into the color ramp, and I'm going to grab a texture coordinate node. Now I want this 3D noise to be moving, right? But I want it to be like, it'd be cool to have it moving within like the same speed as the ship is going. You know what I mean? Like, so if we pick, let's see, like world control, for example. So this is just an empty that's in our scene that I'm using just to organize the scene a little bit. Landfear says, we got lost in thought with you. Yeah, you did. That's all right. Lost in thought's fun. If we can get 85 people in the flow on the stream, that's pretty cool. All right, so world control is just sitting still, right? So if I use this and I use the object vector and I bring this over, then technically as the ship moves, it's going to be moving through. Oh, is that right? No, it's not right. I'm not right. It needs to be on the ship itself. So maybe I should go hero ship controller. Hero ship. How do we say it? Hero ship. There it is. Hero ship control. We'll set it for that. And then let's see. I want to multiply this in somewhere. So let's come up to here, and what happened? What would happen if we plug it in there? Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. I want to subtract it, I think, because I don't want to have the noise be as, I want the brightness to kind of overpower it. David S. on YouTube says, White Rooster is our proxy. We are sending all of our comments through him. It's pretty funny. White Rooster, if you're on Twitch, White Rooster's making most of the comments on YouTube at the moment. All right, so I'm going to go mix RGB. And I will set this to, we'll start with multiply, and I'll put this one in here. And then I'll turn my factor all the way up. And I'm going to flip this around. Yeah, this isn't quite going to work, but that's all right. I'll show you. So if we go through, do you see how is it moving? No, it's not even moving. All right. All right, we're just going to animate it, I think. I'm just debating in my head how I want to do this. If I actually want to use like a displacement modifier or something. If I clamp it. White Rooster on YouTube says, I speak for the peoples. Yeah, let's see. What to do? I want to distort it without having to do too much. Yeah, that's probably all we need to do. I'll go back to generated. Go back to multiply. Bring it all the way up. It's kind of nice stretched anyways. Bring this around. Let's see. Let me think about the logic of it. Why would my multiply be getting... Oh, that's right, because we have... So what do I want? What do I want? I got to think about what do I want. I want to have... I don't want this to actually affect this thing. I want it to be... So let's pop that straight in. I actually want this to affect the strength of the emission. I'm going to clear the keyframes on that because I don't need keyframes. It's from a previous shot. I'll delete this mix node. Grab this, bring it up here. And I'm going to, so the strength is 33.9. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to select the bright bit and I'm going to paste this into the R, G, and B. And then I will plug this into the strength. Okay. Now what I can do is I can set this to like B spline, right? And let's find a spot that works. Is it going to work for us? You can see what's happening a little bit there. So it's affecting the brightness. A little too much though. There we go. Now we've got what I was looking for. So like that. And now what we can do is we can come over here and we can hit a mapping node. And we can animate that mapping. I think along the X. Yeah, it's the X that we want to do. So we're going to be going in the positive direction. So I'll set this to 0. I'll go to my first frame. So ready? 1 second. All right. Now, let's animate this. So I'm going to hit I for keyframe here. And I'll go to my last frame. And I'll go maybe to 5, let's say. Hit I again. Need to find that keyframe here. Go back to my dope sheet. It's a bit easier to find stuff there. Select this. Where is it? There it is. And I'll right click on these and go Interpolate Linear. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, I think that'll work. Put a little burst in. Like right about here, like when he comes around, could have like a little burst. And also think, what happens if we make this a bit longer? Maybe I want to do that here. Like, what if we scale on the X, bring it in, right? And then it's come here. It's kind of cool that it's showing through there. That's kind of neat. So it comes out, and then we go I for scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames maybe, something like that, and then come like this and set another keyframe. Just like these, bring it back a little bit. Yeah, he's like going into hyperdrive. What if we put some variation in it, like over here, when it comes into the frame, we could scale it down a bit. And then yeah, that's cool. And if we're doing this, it'd be cool if like we had this light here as well. Like, so remember that little point light we had? Let's Shift D to duplicate him. Let's grab him on the Y. And try and find him first. Where is he? Come out of render mode. Turn on our selections. And what's the asteroid that we're seeing in our camera view? Oh, it's this one. All right, so I'm going to bring this light, like cheat it. I'm going to bring it right over here. There we go. Back into render mode. I'm going to grab it along the Y until we start getting tons of light here on the side of the asteroid, like this, right? Now, see how it just creates this flash frame? Just really adds to the impact of that moment of him firing up his engines and taking off. Awesome. I think this is pretty good. Let's see, is there anything else I want to do to this shot? One thing that we could do, if I grab this, where's our emitters? Turn selection back on for these. Grab this group. Oh, that's right. It's not going to let me grab and move them, is it? No. White Rooster says, I think it's hilarious that you make the engine sounds while it's playing. I do the same thing. You've got to make your own sound effects when doing animation. It's the only way to do it. DD says, looking dry cool. Nice. David S says, maybe a slight flutter. You mean like on the jet at the back? Genesis says, I think brightness noise is needed at the jet material. Yeah, maybe it's not quite strong enough. There's brightness noise. There it is. But remember too, there's going to be motion blur with all this, so we're not seeing it with motion blur right now. I think this is a good shot. I'm happy with this shot. All right, so I'm going to set up my render. So I like to render each of these in their own folder. So I'll come over here. I'm going to change this name to, this is Epic Space Battles. What are we at? 20, I think. Is this 20? Just double check. Let's see. Tutorials, Epic Space Battles. Come over to renders. Shot. Oh, this is shot 19. I might just label this shot 20 because I think we're at, this is episode 20, I think. Oh, I see what you're saying, Genesis, is like a flicker of like the brightness. Yeah, that's probably a really good idea. We should do that. Let's do that. So what we can do here is come over to our shader editor. And with the, so what we want to do is modulate this color so it dances between two values. But what we can do with that is we could come over here and we could say math, grab a math node, set it to divide. We'll take this as value 1. And it works into a math node, by the way, because this is just a black and white image. We're not messing with color. If this was a color, if you had a color on your color ramp and you pipe it through a math node, it's going to turn black and white. So that might be a bit of a gotcha. Be aware of that. Use a vector math node if you want to do color and retain the color. So let's divide it by, actually we'll do multiply, and we'll modulate it. We'll multiply it by like point, I don't know, like, we'll go between maybe 1 and 0.9, I think. That could be good. And then if we bring this in, so watch, I'll show you. If I set this to 1, it's going to stay the same, right? Because we're multiplying by 1. Get into 0.9. Let's find a 0.5 maybe. Yeah, 0.5 gives a noticeable dip. So if we go between 1 and 0.5, that should work. So what we can do is we can create a range. Do that a couple ways. Probably the simplest is just to create a ramp, color ramp. And we could set our range to be, this one, we'll make this 1. So 1 on RGB, all of those are 1. And take this one and we'll go 0.5 into RGB. Technically, I think all we have to do is the R channel if we're doing math. I think it only takes the first channel. Not really sure. And then what we can do is, wait, no, sorry. This isn't the easiest way to do this. I think a map range node would be better. Because we want to go, well, no, because we want to actually, all right, let's set this, sorry, let's go back to 1 with this. Let's set a keyframe for it. And let's go to the curve editor. Sorry, the graph editor. All right, and let's find that shade. I'll hit A and full stop to zoom in on it. And what do we got? Default value, that's what we want to see. So we don't need to see this. I'm just going to hide the hero ship object transform. So I'm just looking at this. And I'm going to add in a noise modifier. And I want to modulate between, so right now it's adding 1 to it or subtracting 1 to it. I'm just going to go 0.5. And you see on the side here, you've got these numbers, right? So I know that I want 1 to be the max. I want to go between 1 and 0.5. So what you can do is it phase? No. Offset? No. Scale? No. How do you do this? I do this a lot. Maybe it's not noise. Maybe that's why. I need to take it down. Strength 0.5. Offset's just going to go offset through time. Depth just increases the complexity. Restrict frame ranges, isn't it? And influences it either. Yeah. So I think it's using the noise one. Blend, that's okay. We want to go, that's right. We want to go subtract. That's right. Change the blend mode. Nice. Thanks, White Rooster. All right, so we want to subtract 0.5. Is that right? So now we're going to go between those. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Anyways, let's now think about the timing with it. It's hard to see because we'll be only got a few frames to work with. All right, let's increase this to 1. See what it looks like. Let's go 2. Yeah, 2 is going to be too far. You can see we actually start going into blacks. Bring the scale down. Yeah, it's a bit subtle, isn't it? Could just hold down shift to move this. This will show us what our range looks like. Yeah, it's probably just the scale. Let's go 0.01. Let's bring it really tight. Let's take this back to 0.5. 1. 1.5. Yeah, I think you're right. Scale's too low now. We can't see. Yeah, it's a bit too powerful. I think that'll be good. I could clamp it. No, I don't want to clamp it because that'll mean we won't go into those super values, which isn't good. So. All right, Rooster says lower the strength to 0.75. Let's try that. Pretty good. Pretty good. Let's do 0.05. Is that going to be too fast? Oh, there we go. I can see it now. Except we do go black. I don't want to do that. It's a fine line. So we've got such a short shot to get a noise point to hit us where we want it. It's probably better. We're probably better off animating this, to be completely honest, to get you the look that we really want. So, because we've got such a short amount of time, you want to be able to control what you're seeing. So we're not going to see it there, but here we can. So if I start setting keyframes here, 3, come down, and then like hold down Shift and drag this, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Could even go above 1 if I wanted to. Then we can actually shape it. As opposed to spending hours trying to like mess with noise values to get something we want. Sometimes that's the quickest way to get what you want when you're doing something that's, a bit custom. It's actually kind of cool going super bright with it. It actually might be too much. I like that first burst, but I think this one's too much. Delete that keyframe. Yeah, it really adds a bit of punch to that emphasis, that moment. But it's just this little curve going bright like that just as it fires off, I think is actually a pretty good idea. Looks pretty good. All right. That's a really good point. So when you're working on something like this, there's two things to really keep in mind. One is you don't want to like spend all your time tweaking a frame like this when it's going to be moving so quick and so fast. There's so much going on, because you're never going to see that detail. That detail will be lost on your audience. So you're wasting your time. The other thing is not trying to get, systems like drivers or modifiers or, do really fancy code stuff in the background to get something to look right when it's quicker to just go in and add some keyframes. So again, try and keep in perspective of where your shot is in the context of your scene and how long it's going to be on frame. We're looking at 5 seconds of our entire animation. So. Great. All right. This is really good. Now I want to put this in my shot. So let me think. I want to see if there's a way I can render this like rough with you guys here live, so that I don't like kill the machine and it doesn't take forever. I'm going to drop this down to maybe, well, I'll match my viewport samples. Let's go 16. And let's see if this will work. I'm going to hit render, let's save. And let's go render animation. Is there anything I'm missing? I don't think there is. We'll find out. Oh, now there is a bit of a compositing workflow that this is being piped through. Let me show that to you. Go to the compositor. The rendered image first is going to go through a little bit of a curves adjustment just to kind of increase the contrast. Then a glare node is going to add a bit of lens flare. Sometimes this doesn't work very well, so I have to be careful with this, especially with that jet. We have to look at that probably. And it's actually very subtly added in, so it's only being added in by 0.01. Then I've got some lens distortion with a bit of dispersion set at 0.03. That adds a bit of color split along the edges, so we go a bit, RGB on the edges of our lens. And then I boost the image and then tweak the hue and saturation just a little bit. And then I've got a mask here, an ellipse mask to create a bit of a vignette with a blur on that mask because it's a feathered mask. And then I put that all together. So that's how we go. So let's have a look at. Oh, Dave makes a good point. The phase of the noise needed to be closer to the scale of your frames. That's probably a big part of it. All right, I'm gonna hit render and I'm gonna step away for a minute and I'll be right back and we'll talk about it. I'll put this up so you can see it. Okay, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Make sure it's all working. Yeah, the computer died. I had a feeling that would happen. How far did we get with the render? All right, let's pull this back up. I'll actually go to frame 73. Oh, that's not bad. We can work with that. Let's see. I'm going to recover autosave. And I'll go to, where was it today? At 10. Oh, is it 10:37 really? Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to save this. Save as, because I don't think I saved shot 20, 10:37. Oh, no, yeah, I did 10:37. All right, so anyways, that's the advantage of doing a PNG sequence. Sorry, to step away, my son woke up. He was having his nap, and he woke up, needed to be resettled. All right, so let's see where we got to with it. I'm actually just going to close out of Blender. And I'll bring up Premiere. This will be where we land things. We'll kind of end things here. Bit of an anticlimax there. So let's see. So 74 frames. That's pretty good, isn't it? Because we were going for how many? We had 24 times. We did 5 seconds, right? That's 120. So we were missing 46 frames. So about a second. We're missing about a second. David S says, speaking of naps, Chris is cutting into my old man nap time. Feel free to head off, David. Oh, wow, we're back to 92 on YouTube. I thought everybody would just leave when that happened. It was a dead stream for a while. Thanks for leaving. Okay, so I'm back in Premiere now, and I just want to bring in that shot so we can see how it fits with everything. And usually I bring in a shot, look at it, and feel like I got to change things. But anyways, we'll bring it in. It's not the full shot, but that's all right. We'll grab it. Where is it? Renders. Shots. Oh, it didn't render the right folder. Where did it go? It's a bit funny. Where does it live? Tutorials. Did I stick it in here accidentally? I did. There it is. Got the wrong folder set up for my renders. Anyways, doesn't matter. Let's go for this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and this. So I'll bring this in as an image sequence. So this is just a sequence of PNG files. Now I need to make sure my interpolation is right, or my interpretation is right. I interpret footage. I'm going to assume, so it's thinking that it's 25 frames a second, but it's not. We were rendering at 24, so I need to just make that correction. And then I can right click on this, and I'm going to scale it to my frame size because I'm actually zooming up my frames a little bit. Now let's see, so we fly off. Yeah, cool. It's looking pretty good though. I think it's pretty good. Let's see how it cuts. I think it cuts pretty well, even though we don't have the rest of the shot. Are you getting that audio? No, you're not. It's odd. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, the music's not playing for some reason. David S says, this really got me thinking. I won't sit and watch my own render past the first few frames, but I'll sit here and watch 73 of Chris's frames get it. Wow. Yeah, that's a bit funny, isn't it? All right, why is the music not playing back? Let's see. It's probably a preference thing. I hate Premiere's audio nonsense. It's just crazy. It's always like switching default output. Yeah, that's right. Desktop audio properties. Default. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not working. Anyways, well, we made some great progress today. I'll know more once I look at this shot in context. I'll just give you kind of a breakdown right now in terms of like what I'm thinking as I'm wrapping this up. And now I turned the volume back up, White Rooster. I'm not sure. I'm actually seeing that there's no audio at all coming through on OBS. So must be just something that wires got crossed when the computer crashed. But anyway, so what I'm going to think about as I'll go through and I'll finish rendering this shot, and we can pick up where we left off and talk more about it next time I stream this. But just looking at it, I'll need to find a better cut point. This is a bit of a rough cut from here to here. So I might cut out of this one sooner, or maybe think about going back and adding in this spin. See how we've got this spin going in this shot? So like some of this, maybe even like starting the shot here where we've got this asteroid. So that's a really good thing. When you're finding a cut point, it's really important to cut into a shot when it's easier, to cut into a shot when your subject's not in frame. So like if you're on set and you're directing something, you want to make sure you always start your take with the character out of frame and they enter frame and then they do the thing and then they exit frame. Well, I mean, if it makes sense in the context of the scene, but the start and the end, entering and exiting frame is really important because it gives you more options in the edit and it makes it a lot easier to cut into. So like in a case like this where we've got the other thing is actions, cutting on actions. So the action here is this turn, this rotation. If we had that continuing in this shot, it would make sense in terms of the edit. We also have this blurred extra frame where our keyframe was a bit off, so it's good to cut that stuff out. But what I might do is start it here. So he's not even in frame. And this asteroid is going to be like a reveal for us. See how that looks. Yeah, it's subtle, but it makes a huge difference in the context of things. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to work out nicely. The other thing I was worried about was the fact that our camera's quite smooth here. We don't have any noise in our camera, and then we add noise. But I actually kind of like it. I think in context now, looking at it, I feel like it's pretty exciting. Some weirdness going on with our stars too. Look at that. See the stars go dim and then they suddenly go bright. Need to figure out what's happening with that. But yeah, anyway, so I like this motion. I think it's pretty good. I think it adds some excitement to that shot. Really, really ramps it up. So yeah, I think it's looking really, really good. All right, well, Wizzle's got to go. It's almost 1 a.m. in Europe. It's probably time to go for a lot of people. If you're in America, you're probably about to watch the Super Bowl. It's exciting. Hi, Caesar. Welcome. Good to have you. Thanks for coming. Yeah, I think it's appropriate to have the camera shake during a close-up scene too, David. I think that it adds to the impact of the shot. So, well, thanks for joining me today, everybody. Sorry again for the cutout in the stream when we lost the connection there, but that's all right. This live stream I will put up for everyone, so keep an eye out for it. It'll be on the page. I'm not sure if I think I'll do an edited version. I'll cut out the bit at the beginning, and I'll cut out that render time from it and then repost it just so it's a bit, doesn't have those spots in it. But anyways, hope that you found this really helpful. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial-esque kind of live stream me working on a short film. Let me know in the comments if you're into this, if you want to see more of these, you want to see me continue epic space battles and finish off this short film. Please, if you're on YouTube, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing and leaving a comment. All those things go a really long way to helping the channel grow. And if you're ever on Twitch, our tiny little Twitch community, we're growing that too, bit by bit. We only just started on Twitch, so hit the follow button, and no subscribes yet. It's just follows over there, but that's fine. So we're growing that. We're going to hit 50 soon, I hope. So keep that coming, and we're aiming for the big 10,000 on YouTube by the end of February. So if you haven't already subscribed, about half the people that watch my stuff haven't subscribed. So maybe think about subscribing. Only if it's going to help you out. You want to really stay tuned to what I'm doing. Subscribe. If you like just kind of dipping in every now and then, don't worry about it. It's cool. But yeah, if you're really into it, hit that subscribe button. That really helps me grow the channel. Yeah, consider checking out the Blender Market and Patreon and all those places where I'm selling stuff that helps me continue to make these tutorials. Again, check out Patreon. We've got, and becoming a channel member on YouTube, you get access to the early tutorials in this series on how to make the spaceship, how to make the little spider bot, the bad guy that we've got in the scene. So check those out if you're interested, as well as if you join in the $20 level on Patreon, you can get all the project files from Epic Space Battles. So everything, even today's project file will go up there. Actually, you can join on the $10 level to get today's project file on Patreon. So that's a cheaper way to get a hold of these assets like the ship and stuff. So think about that if you're interested. Well, thank you again. I'll catch everybody later. Have a fantastic evening, morning, night, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you in the next live stream. See you later. Bye.